And so for Christmas, they got to open up a little graduation cap, and
Because they have no clue, right?
they
You are
didn't have
doing
any
that.
idea. Yeah. Kept it a secret from them for like 5 or 6 months and got it done.
How were their reaction?
My dad cried.
I can see that.
My dad cried. My mom.
That's awesome.
My mom was on the brink of tears, but she held it together.
Wow.
My mom's the strong one. My mom is the strong one.
Ah, that's awesome.
So she held it together pretty good, but I could tell she was emotional. She gave me a big hug.
So you shared with us about the story about your challenges, how you overcame. So just looking back last 8 months of your rehab journey, are there anything you feel like you earned or you learned or you have accomplished because of that, going through the journey?
Yeah, there have been a couple things. I think that the most important thing to me is that I learned how much I do love the game of baseball. This was the first time that I've gone 7, 8, 9 months, close to a year without actually playing. I've never dealt with an injury so large that I've missed this amount of time. But I still think about it every single day. I still think about if I was in this situation, this is what I would do. And like, nonetheless, all I can think about is going back and just playing. Having fun, running around, that's what I love to do. It's what I've always wanted to do. And so when you take that away from me, I think I really learned like, okay, it's not forever. And one day someone's gonna come and take the jersey for good, whether you're injured or not injured. And I don't know if I'll be prepared for that day. And so I wanna do everything I can beforehand to make sure when that day comes, I can say I did everything I possibly could. I don't wanna have any regrets. And we're on the path. We're on the path right now.
I like that. You identify the things you have put under control, that you are doing everything for it.
Trying to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then you found the true love for the baseball.
I think one thing that my dad always taught me is that you have to respect the game and the game will respect you. And so like, even though I'm not physically capable of playing right now, like I still need to educate myself, and I still need to try and learn something new about the game this year. And so now going into spring training, I'm diving more and more back in. Like I said, I stopped watching baseball, but now it's time to start getting more and more and more back into it and picking everything back up, because when it comes down to it, I will be ready, and that's the plan. But something else that I probably learned is just like a better work ethic. Just showing up every single day with a purpose opposed to just showing up every single day.
Wow.
I think it's important to understand what is the goal of today, what do I want to get out of today, instead of just trying to get through the day. And I think for a period of my career, of whether that was in college, high school, professional, I went through okay, I just have to get through it today. Opposed to how can I get better today?
Wow.
How can I do this?
Yeah.
Where can I improve? And I think that I understand that better now after having to go through this 8-month rehab, because you can't show up every day to an ACL rehab and just get through it and expect you to get better. You actually have to have a work ethic, a plan, and a goal.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just walking around, kind of.
Well said. Definitely showing up is one thing and working hard is another thing. But if you put intention, conscious effort to it, outcome is totally different.
Oh, absolutely.
And that is something you can dictate your own future outcome.
And I think
That's awesome.
Once we started seeing those results come in, it made me want to work harder. Like originally it was like, K2, we've been working for 3 weeks and I'm at the same range of motion.
That's right, yeah.
But then all of a sudden we get to week 6 and I have full range of motion and I'm walking around normal and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should do more. Maybe I need to go do more.
I see.
So
I like that. So you are connecting your hard work, those countless hours doing that, but positive outcome, then, okay, this is why we're doing this.
Exactly.
Let's put more, then let's make it better.
Yes,
I love that.
Hard at first, but like the more and more results that I saw, the more and more I wanted to be working.
I see. That's cool. And you're quite a bit humble person, so you don't brag so many things. But I want to tell you, this athlete, Matt, during those 8-month rehab, he didn't just like do rehab and trying to find his love for baseball, something, but also he has accomplished something big. A couple of weeks ago, he graduated with a diploma from Oklahoma State.
Yes.
Would you mind telling us about that? You know,
Yeah.
how you end up doing that then? Yeah, because you are drafted when you are still in a college.
So I got drafted my junior year at Oklahoma State, so I bypassed my senior year. And that left me with 21 credits when I left to finish. And I went ahead and I took 16 of those in 2019. But then I hit the pause button on everything because I was fully committed to baseball and trying to get to the big leagues. And so from there, I did not go back to class. And when I tore my ACL and I realized I'm going to spend the next 2-3 months on the couch before I can really move, I enrolled in classes, did it all online. And I surprised my parents that it was something that I always told them that I would do, that I would finish. And so for Christmas, they got to open up a little graduation cap, and
Because they have no clue, right?
they
You are
didn't have
doing
any
that.
idea. Yeah. Kept it a secret from them for like 5 or 6 months and got it done.
How were their reactions?
My dad cried.
I can see that.
My dad cried. My mom,
That's awesome.
My mom was on the brink of tears, but she held it together.
wow.
My mom's the strong one. My mom is the strong one.
Wow, that's awesome.
So she held it together pretty good, but I could tell she was emotional. She gave me a big hug.
Yeah. So how did you show them as a gift? How did you present that?
So I didn't go to like the walking part of my graduation, which was 2 weeks ago. I decided that I was just going to order a cap on Amazon, a little graduation cap.
Yeah.
And I wrapped that up and I gave it to my parents and they opened it up, and my dad opened it, pulled it out, and knew immediately.
He knew. Okay. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he was like, he looked in and he started crying. And then my mom opened it and she was like, "You finished?" and was looking at me. So it was a cool moment for sure.
Yeah. Quite a bit of accomplishment.
Quite a bit of accomplishment. I know that they're proud of me. But
Yeah. Totally.
I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. They taught me everything I know, so I'm very thankful for them.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a role model too.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, Matt. So I'm gonna ask you your takeaway messages for our viewers. Do you have any advice for the youth athletes and the parents who wants to become professional athlete in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that youth athletes should try to play as many sports as they possibly can. I think that there's no right or wrong sport to play at a young age, especially. And I think that the parents should allow those athletes to find what it is that they like. I know that firsthand a lot of people think that I play baseball because my dad played baseball. But the truth is I fell in love with the game at just like my dad did at a young age, and that's what I also wanted to do.
So they never push you?
Nobody ever pushed me, and nobody ever told me this is what you're gonna do. I think that you can expose them to different sports, you can sign them up for different sports, but I think that if they come to you and they tell you, "Hey, I don't like that sport," or "Hey, I really like that one," it's okay. That can be encouraged, or you don't have to. You don't have to do everything that your parents want you to do sports-wise. Sports-wise, that's it. Anything else, you do what they say. But if your dad played football and you want to play basketball, I think that's okay. Or vice versa. I just think that it's important to get in as many athletic competitions as you possibly can, as many sporting events, as many games, just to possibly become the best athlete you possibly can. And then from there, when it's time, whether that's high school, whether that's right before you go to college, or whether that's earlier at a young age like it was for me, decide which one it is that you really love and which one it is that you want to pursue. And that awesome. For me was baseball, and it was always baseball. I played a little bit of basketball my freshman year of high school, and after that I said I know what I want to do, and I'm playing baseball, and I'm focusing on baseball.
Awesome.
But until that point, they moved me around. I played a little football, I played a little basketball, whatever it was, just to keep me moving, to keep me engaged in sports, because not every season, like the season ends and you gotta wait.
Right.
So when you're a kid, you might as well just go from one season to the next season.
I see. I like that. Then what about any advice for the therapists or trainers, coaches who are working with injured athletes?
I think that therapists, coaches, doctors, anybody working with an athlete that was injured, especially at the professional level, should understand that those players themselves, like nobody wants to play their sport more than they do. When you take our job away from us, when you take away the way that, people feed their families, the way people put gas in their car, it's a struggle for some people, but for the most part, nobody wants to go play more than us. So we're gonna do everything that we possibly can to get back out there, meaning we're going to trust you guys. We're gonna trust that the medical team puts us in the right situations and puts us in the right place to be successful. And in my situation, I've been very thankful that everybody along the way has shown me, hey, this is how you're gonna get there. From the Phillies, from my doctor, from you, from every single step has been, this is what you need to do if you wanna be on the field next year. And if I just trust you guys, I do believe that I will be. And right now that's where we're sitting, to where we have good open communication. I'm back home for the off season. I'm relaying everything. You talk to my trainers with the Phillies every day or every week. It's made it easier for me that we have a good system and a good open communication, to where I know exactly what's going on in my rehab. I know where we're at. I know what my expectations are. And I know, okay, I am to be at this point of my rehab by this day. And I think that has made it easier, like knowing the expectations and knowing what it is that the medical team wants from me.
I see.
And I've been able to turn that into results.
I see. So sharing the mutual goals and sharing the intention, wanting to help you.
Exactly.
At the same time, through the communication, establishing the mutual expectation and revisiting that. Okay. Awesome.
I just think that we put a lot of trust into all you guys, like,
So
because
true.
we didn't go to school to become doctors, to become physical therapists. We went to school to play baseball. Some guys go out of high school, some guys go out of college, but regardless of the fact, there's not many guys that play professional baseball that probably have a lawyer degree or a doctor degree or a physical therapy degree. Like, for the most part, they probably have pretty basic degrees along the board, to where we need you guys to help us out, and we're gonna do whatever it is you guys say, because we know that you're the ones with the education. So if it got to the point where you told me, Matt, I need you to do a handstand for 30 yards, I would have done it. If you would have told me,
right.
If you would have told me, hey, do a handstand for 30 yards, it's gonna help your knee, I would have tried it. But obviously you wouldn't do that, because you're only setting me up with things that are gonna be successful.
Right. Yeah. So those are great message, advice. So I'm putting myself into this group too, but therapists, trainers, coaches who are working with athletes, and when athletes giving us so much trust, their life and career kind of depending on us in a way. So much pressure, but at the same time, that is an opportunity like we can truly embrace, then we can step up and we can help them better. So hearing that is really inspired and encouraged me again, so thank you about that.
No, thank you.
What about any advice for the athlete who got injured or who are going through the rehab process?